Dr. Glenn Barney and his wife Sheryl live in Auburn, California. Glenn's a chiropractor, and Sheryl is the brains behind their USANA business. They're gold directors in USANA. They are platinum pace setters, and get this, they are members of the Growth 25. Please welcome to the USANA stage with a great big round of applause, Dr. Glenn and Sheryl Barney.
You know, I used to live at the beach, and it was nice to come home to this weather. It's so nice and damp and beach-like. But I recently got my hair cut, and it hasn't experienced the beach. So I had a little difficulty this morning. I tried all the products I brought and all the devices that I brought, and my hair's pinned back, as you see. So I thought, well, this is good. I'm not focused on worrying about what I'm going to say. I'm worried about what I'm going to do with my hair. So here we are. Life is full, and getting here this weekend was a little hectic. You know, you have our business, and we have USANA, and we have a couple kids, and those couple of kids can take up quite a bit of time. So I was trying to get ready to go, and that meant getting somebody to watch them, and then our son has a swim meet this week, and so I had to coordinate the carpool, and now I hear one of the carpool drivers has a dog bite on her hand, and she can't drive, and so we're trying to coordinate that from here. And you know, you're writing out the emergency notes, and you're letting the schools know, and then you write it all down for the sitter, everything that she has to do while you're gone for 2.5 days, and then you know why you need the USANA vitamins. So I have a My Health Pack and a regular health pack as well, and I'm glad that I have those to take to keep my energy up for the 2 kids. As I got all of that done and realized I needed to get myself ready, I went into my pantry and I quickly grabbed my vitamins. It was so fast, it was so nice because I was in and out and I could get on with getting the rest of the stuff ready. Now, this is not how it used to be for me. It used to be a huge shelf in the pantry dedicated to my vitamin bottles. And so what I would do is I'd get them all off the shelf, and then I would line up some room on my counter, and one at a time I'd make my piles for our trip, the AM and the PM, and do all of that. And then I would put them in Ziplocs. That's not very green, is it? Sorry, Dave. And I would take my Ziplocs on the trip with me. So it was so nice when all this other stuff took so much time to quickly be able to grab my vitamins. I was very excited about that. So it's made it very convenient for me. But more than that, what I realized after I got my health pack was that I was more compliant, because there were mornings that were pretty hectic, and I'd open the cupboard with all those bottles and go, I don't have time. And I would miss my morning vitamins. And I know how important they are. I've been to enough events, I've listened to things and read things, and I know that Dr. Wentz designed these vitamins with a dosage that I need. So when I miss, I feel bad about that. So the compliance was also so important for me that I do that now. I'm very compliant. And the cost was less than $0.25 a day. So I just want to say to you, for anybody that's still doing it old school, get this thing going, order your My Health Pack. Remember the reason, the 3 C's, convenience, compliance, and cost. Now, Glenn's going to tell you about this wonderful way that he's utilized the My Health Pack to grow our business.
Quiet. All right. Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's always a pleasure to speak in front of such wonderful people. But to have Dr. Wentz here, thank you. I had the pleasure of having lunch with his incredible son yesterday and his new wife, Renee, and I know they're back there. And they called me, USANA did, and said, Glenn, would you mind terribly if you spoke about My Health Pack on stage? And I said, I'd love to do that. And they said, so go ahead and get something together, send it to us so we can show it to compliance. So I did. And then 2 days ago, they called me in a frantic frenzy. And they said, Glenn, would you mind terribly if we put a video clip in your talk? Sure, no problem. So they sent it to me. I watched it on my computer in my office, and I said, "That's a wonderful video. I'd love to use it. What would you like me to say?" So everything that I had intended to explain to you today was on that wonderful video, and the great news is, I believe I'm correct on this, you can utilize that video with your downline as well as when you're prospecting now. So won't that be wonderful to be able to share with people? Excellent, excellent. I'm looking forward to that myself. Well, with that being said, I decided that what I would discuss with you, and this is huge, is just how wonderful My Health Pack has been in helping our downline as well as the people that I have that are preferred customers. Phil and Penny spoke about preferred customers, how important that trust factor is. It's very, very true. I know it's true with the people that are preferred customers of ours. So what I did is I noticed, and I think you all can relate with this, that more and more people that I signed up on auto ship were actually dropping out of their auto ship. Well, when I would contact them, guess what they would usually say? Well, Glenn, the only reason I stopped my auto ship, it wasn't because I didn't like the product, I love the product, is that more came in and I hadn't used it yet. So all of a sudden I had this plethora. So what am I supposed to do? And I said, well, that's very common. A lot of times people miss. So when you keep missing your products on a daily basis, it's usually because of the fact that it's not very convenient to have what I call your tackle box. And we've all been there, done that, and any of us that have ever used nutritionals over the years. So the convenience of having the My Health Pack really made a difference with our preferred customers. But it's better. What's the one thing you do come Thursday and Friday of every week? You start to look at your DLM, and you start to stress just a little. I know that's not happened to any of you. It has to me once or twice. And I'm like, how am I going to max out this week? Well, what I did is I looked at my PC list of people who had used products for a period of time, and you could tell were pleased. They continued to do their auto ship for month after month, and I said, great. I'm going to contact these people, and I can clearly see when I hit the detail button on my DLM what it is they've been using, and I see that they've been using just Essentials and say Precosa. Well, shouldn't they also be using some other products besides those? Of course they should, right? They should be using some other optimizers. So I would call up these people and say, John, I couldn't help but notice that you have been using Precosa for your joints and you've been using the Essentials for your overall health. That's very wise, but I really believe that it would behoove you to use some fish oil. It would also be wise for you to implement some calcium and also some Vision X for your visual acuity and so forth. So I'm mentioning these other things that they could use. Lo and behold, I maxed out because every single person I called to get involved in using a My Health Pack that hadn't been before, just been using a couple of products, were all for it because they loved the compliance and the convenience of it completely. So it worked beautifully. I know it would work for you too. And lo and behold, I just increased my auto ship 3 weeks in a row just by contacting preferred customers and suggesting they do a My Health Pack instead of just their Essentials that they're currently doing, or even just their Health Pack 100. Does that make sense? Yeah, it works really, really well. So in closing, what I like to say is My Health Pack has been a true thing to me, and there's one thing they showed up on the video is, do you recall if any of you were at convention? How many of you were at convention? Let me know. Make sure you're there this year. I'll be looking for you, all right? And that is that at convention, do you recall that good old Freddie was kind of giving Dave a bad time about the My Health Pack? Well, this is Dave's baby, all right? I think the world of Dave. I spent some time with him in Hawaii at the Growth 25 trip. And one thing I can tell you is that, remember how Freddie gave him a bad time about you need to scroll down? All right? In other words, he couldn't find out what was going on. And all Dave did was come up on stage, well, Fred, all you needed to do was scroll down. Well, on the back of this, and I'm sure it's Fred's fault, I'm just telling you right now, but on the top of the page on the My Health Pack, it says the person's name. It's actually at the bottom of the box. Have you noticed that when you get them, that the actual name is printed on the bottom of the box? So it's kind of like I told what Dave said to Freddie, you just need to scroll down. All right? So with that in closing, I'd like to say that I said this at convention, I'll say it again. May you all have a blessed day, and may your 2008 be abundant. Thank you, USANA.